Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please take a second to click the like button if you like this video or hit the thumbs down if you don't. Also, if you enjoy the contents of this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. This video is sponsored by PTCGO the best place for you to get PTCGO code cards. Are you looking to complete your Pokemon card collection online for the latest set? PTCGO has everything you need. Please use my code NIGHT22 at checkout so you can get a 5% discount. Help yourself out with the discount, and thank you for helping support the content I create in this channel and for helping out PTCGO. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at CRABOMINABLE V from the Fusion Strike set. CRABOMINABLE V has 220 HP, 4 retreat cost, no resistance, and is weak to metal. It has 2 awesome attacks. The first one is Trigger Avalanche. For just 1 water energy, it discards the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. While this attack is not as aggressive in terms of a mill strategy, we can still amplify its usability. For example, I've included Obstagoon in this build with the Wicked Ruler ability. This ability forces your opponent to discard cards from their hand until they only have 4 left. This will help limit your opponent's hand as well as force them to discard a lot of cards in their hand. We can evolve into Obstagoon using the rare candy. I've also added the Galar Mine Stadium, which increases both active Pokemon's retreat cost by 2. This will make it a lot more difficult for your opponent to retreat. You can take advantage of this by trapping your opponent's non-attacking Pokemon in the active, preferably one with a high retreat cost, and then have CRABOMINABLE continue to mill your opponent's deck. And I also have Tool Jammer to combo with the Galar Mine Stadium. This can turn off your opponent's active Pokemon tool cards, especially the air balloons. CRABOMINABLE V is not just a meme either because its second attack is Destroyer Punch. For 2 water and 1 colorless energy, it will deal 90 plus damage, and this attack does 60 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. This attack is incredibly powerful, and we can easily pay off this attack cost using the Capacious Bucket, allowing you to search your deck for 2 water energies and put them into your hand. And you can also use Melanie, which can help accelerate 1 water energy from the discard pile to one of your V Pokemon, and you draw 3 extra cards. However, you still need to deal that initial damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon to increase CRABOMINABLE V's Destroyer Punch attack. It's not a problem though because we'll be using Galarian Zigzagoon with the Headbutt Tantrum ability. If you play this card from your hand to the bench, you can deal 1 damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And you can reuse this ability using the Scoop Up Net. Conveniently enough, this is the basic Pokemon that evolves into our Obstagoon, which helps with the mill strategy. I've also added the Inteleon with the Quick Shooting ability. Once per turn, you can deal 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. That 2 damage counter will make CRABOMINABLE V's Destroyer Punch to deal 210 damage. And 4 damage counter will make it 330 damage, which pretty much KOs most VMAXs in the game. And so with these 2 attacks, depending on your matchup, you can adjust easily to which strategy you need to use to win the game. And since we're using the Quick Shooting Inteleon, I might as well add in the Drizzile and Inteleon with the Shady Dealings ability. If you evolve into Drizzile from your hand, you can search your deck for 1 trainer card. Or if you evolve into Inteleon, you can search for 2 trainer cards. And for added consistency, I will be using Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability. If this is in the active spot, you can draw cards until you have 7 in your hand and your turn ends. As for the other cards, I have Evolution Incense, Level Ball, Quick Ball, Escape Rope, and since CRABOMINABLE V has such a high retreat cost, I've also added Bird Keeper, which allows us to switch our active and draw 3 cards. Boss's Orders, Professor's Research, Raihan, and I also have Oleana. You discard 2 cards from your hand, your opponent then reveals their hand, and you can then put 1 trainer card you find there on the bottom of their deck. This is great for disrupting your opponent's hand during clutch moments. And finally, I added in Wash Energy as well because it's accessible to our water type Pokemon. This energy can prevent effects of attacks done to the Pokemon with this equipped. And that's pretty much it. The deck list will be in the description below, but enough talk, let's see which strategy we can showcase today. Mill or Destroy? Alright, nice. We get to start with Snorlax so we can use its Gourmandize and a few Sobbles. We can evolve that into Drizzile and get trainer cards from the deck when we need it. And my opponent's using the Leafeon VMAX build. We might have a chance with this one for sure, but CRABOMINABLE V has a lot of retreat costs, so it can just get knocked out easily with their Leafeon VMAX. So we have to watch out for that. But for now, my opponent's gonna start off with a Sobble, and they're using Dark Energy, which is interesting. But for now, I don't want to use Professor's Research because I really want to keep these other cards. So I'll just attach an energy on Sobble to thin out my hand. And at least we can draw 2 cards with Snorlax. We do get a Galar Mine and a Scoop Up Net, which we don't actually really need. So I'm not sure if I have to use Professor's Research because we have to get the flow of this deck going. Otherwise, if we get trapped, that will get our opponent a head start. We get a Crabominable V from our top deck, which is great, so we can start using that. Crabominable V only needs 1 energy to start milling, and that's what makes that attack actually really great. You can mill as early as turn 1 when you're able to attack. I'm just gonna use this escape rope so that I can switch out into my Crabominable, and I'll use the Galar Mine to trap this Sobble. And I think I'm just gonna have to use Professor's Research here. I really hate to do that, but I think I have to. We get an energy from that, and we get another Crabominable V. We also have Capacious Bucket, so that's great. Let me evolve into Drizzile, and I'll get 1 trainer card. I'll get a Quick Ball because I really want to put an energy on my discard pile. You can either use Melanie or Raihan so that we can accelerate that energy to our Crabominable when we need it. Our other Melanie is prized, but I'm just gonna continue to evolve into Drizzile here because that paves a way to evolving into our Inteleon. I'll just get a Tool Jammer just in case they have a air balloon that will prevent them from retreating, and we can continue to mill with our Crabominable. So let me discard 1 energy and get my Zigzagoon, and let's do damage on their active, and I'll just trigger Avalanche here, discarding the first 2 cards of their deck. And we can evolve into Obstagoon in our next few turns. We have Rare Candy, we also have Evolution Incense, and yeah, go from there. I mean, my opponent's card hand size is getting bigger and bigger, and with Obstagoon in play, that's gonna limit them from getting too much useful cards on their hand, and that's just gonna disrupt them the whole game. So for the meantime, they're gonna use their own Shady Dealings. Drizzile, they're gonna get a quick use a Quick Ball and get their Leafeon V at last to their board, and they're gonna energy switch, and they can actually start attacking if they have a leaf. I mean, if they have a grass energy, they might be able to attack, but they also have to retreat the Sobble off of the active. But we'll see. But our game plan is already set in motion. I'm probably just gonna keep milling my opponent, but again, Crabominable V has a large retreat cost, so most likely it's not gonna survive an attack from their Leafeon VMAX. But they're gonna switch into Leafeon V for some reason. They're gonna use Crobat to draw into more cards, which is fine with us. We're just gonna use Obstagoon to have them discard most of them. Alright, they're just gonna use Greening Cells, so we survive another turn here. Most likely I'm just gonna use Gourmandize this turn, but let me get Inteleon. That way I can get 2 trainer cards. I can get another Evolution Incense with this Shady Dealings. So we have 1 more Shady Dealings available, and since their Leafeon is just gonna attack for a huge amount of damage, I think I might just have to get a boss here and have them I can just trap one of their Pokemon in the active, probably their Crobat, and I'll evolve into my Quick Shooting Inteleon and start chipping away at this Leafeon V, and that's gonna go a long way because we can knock that out if we have enough damage counters on it. So let me build up or evolve into my Obstagoon. So now we can have my opponent discard most of their cards in their hand. So I'll just trap their Crobat V in the active, and we're just gonna continue to disrupt their strategy here. Limiting their hand size is great because now they might be discarding useful cards in there, and if they don't choose the right cards to discard, we could either just trap them in the active, mill them until they run out of cards, or if they can't retaliate as fast, then we can just continue to knock out one of their Pokemon. So Leafeon VMAX is within that range. We just need to add 2 more damage counters to it, and CRABOMINABLE V should be able to knock it out. And they actually discarded a Leafeon VMAX, so that's very interesting. Just gonna go on dice here, get some more cards. So now we can switch out our CRABOMINABLE V if we need to with our Bird Keeper. We also have Scoop Up Net to get Snorlax out of the active, so we're still under control here, which is kind of nice. But they have a lot of Sobbles on their bench. They can get whatever trainer cards they want if they have the means to evolve into their Drizziles or even Inteleon. For the meantime, they're gonna chip damage our CRABOMINABLE with no energies on it, so it makes me think that they have a boss ready to go. I feel like they're just gonna boss my CRABOMINABLE V with energies on it, switch their Crobat V, and just knock it out with their Leafeon VMAX. With so much retreat cost, and with our own Galar Mine, we actually have 6 retreat costs on CRABOMINABLE V. They could easily knock it out. So, do they have a boss? That's the question. Do they have a boss to knock out our CRABOMINABLE V? They don't. They're gonna Grass Knot our Snorlax. They're gonna get 1 prize for that, but you know what? We're gonna get 3 prizes off of this Leafeon VMAX because you can use Raihan to accelerate 1 more energy, get another Sobble to set up, and yeah, all I have to do is just quick shooting this Leafeon VMAX and do enough damage with CRABOMINABLE V's Destroyer Punch attack. So with 4 damage counters, we should be dealing 330 damage. So that's a total of 370 damage against this Leafeon VMAX. Destroyer Punch for 330 damage. Man, CRABOMINABLE V is so powerful, man. Destroyer Punch. Just need a little bit of that chip damage on your opponent. Just knocks it right out of the park. Amazing. So there you have it. That's the dangerously powerful attack of CRABOMINABLE V. So really, CRABOMINABLE V can match against other VMAXs easily. Sure, it has 220 HP and it can get knocked out itself, but this one, I've seen a lot of players use Cape of Toughness to add more HP to CRABOMINABLE V, but I went for the more balanced strategy for it. That's why I'm using Tool Jammer, so that I can use or choose between the mill combo or the mill strategy or even the Destroyer Punch strategy. So that's what I'm going for. I mean, my opponent has 18 cards left. I could probably just mill, but I can also just target my opponent's other Leafeon V and just win this matchup. So we're going to continue to disrupt their hand with our Galarian Obstagoon's Wicked Ruler ability. Again, limiting their hand size to 4. So they get to discard 2. And let's see. Can get another boss. We have another boss, so I think I can just get Drizzile here. Shady Dealings for the boss, and we're just gonna target that Leafeon V. We have quick shooting Inteleon to do 2 chip damage on that Leafeon V, and that's gonna be enough to deal more than 200 damage to this Leafeon V. So we're just gatekeeping them, and they can't even attack. So Destroyer Punch one more time, knocking out this Leafeon B. And they're gonna scoop. There you have it. Good game. I'm gonna start off this match with the Zigzagoon in the active, but my opponent has Crobat V in the active, so that's alright. But they are using Dark type energy, so they can actually attack with this Crobat V. But thankfully I have a lot of quick balls on hand, so I could probably get a Snorlax and retreat. Ooh, I get a Snorlax from the top deck, so that's even better. So I'll have to discard this Wash energy, unfortunately. And let me start using up my quick balls here. I need to get a Sobble. Probably get another Sobble. Let me get rid of this Evolution Incense. We're gonna draw into a lot of cards anyways. I'll probably just get a Crabominable V. That's fine. At least we can start setting that up. And I'm just gonna Gorman Dice here for 7 cards, which is great. We get a lot of Capacious Buckets. I mean, they could help us to thin out our deck by drawing into a lot more energies, but then if they Marnie it, that goes all the way to the bottom of our deck, so you gotta watch out not to overdo that one. But at least we have a Level Ball. I could get a Drizzile from that, or another Sobble to set up at least. But we'll see what my opponent does. They are using a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, which could be very dangerous to our to this matchup, because you know, they could just easily knock out 2 of our Sobbles or Drizzile. We get a Boss Order from the top deck, so let's see. I'm gonna start energizing my Crabominable V. Use this Level Ball, and I'll get a Drizzile. We can use Shady Dealings, and we could probably start setting up our Obstagoon line at some point here. See, we do have an Obstagoon. We have Rare Candy. Let's see, but we only have 1 Evolution Incense. That's the thing. Let me get another Sobble. I'll just get a Level Ball to get a Sobble, because if I get the Evolution Incense, I can only get 1 Inteleon, and I won't be able to get Obstagoon. I'll take advantage of this Oleana, and actually Energy Switch would be better to put on the bottom of their deck, because now they won't be able to attack with their Urshifu. So if they manage to evolve it, they get a Rapid Strike energy. At least they won't be able to switch an energy, and they can't use their attack just yet. But they are gonna Marnie our hand, which is let's see. I guess that's okay. We have Professor's Research that can help us to draw into more cards. I need that Rare Candy and the Evolution Incense, or at least an access to Obstagoon, so we can finally evolve that. That's gonna help us to disrupt my opponent's hand along the way. They're gonna knock out my Snorlax, but I'll just switch into my Crabominable V, and I can start milling their deck. You get another Crabominable V in play. Use Scoop Up Net. Use Drizzile one more time here, or once here, and see what we can get. Tool Jammer is good. That will prevent their Crobat V from retreating. I'll use Professor's Research, and we get another Sobble. Okay, that can help us out along the way. Nothing more we could do here, so I'm just gonna use Trigger Avalanche to discard 2 of their cards from their top deck. That discards an Evolution Incense, which actually could help us out, prevent them from evolving their Urshifu. So this is a very dangerous matchup, especially they can target multiple targets from our board, and a lot of them are within knockout range, so they can knock out our Sobbles or Drizzile, even Zigzagoon. That's why I really want to evolve it into Obstagoon right away. That way, at least we have that disruption to help us out. They're also using Moltres V that can accelerate energy from the discard pile. So they have a very aggressive build here. Rapid Strike Urshifu, Moltres, And the Chinchino engine is pretty good too. But the fact of the matter is that they are discarding every time they draw a card, draw 2 cards with their Chinchino, so that does kind of help us out with the milling strategy. I have Inteleon to evolve here so we can get 2 trainer cards. I have access to Evolution Incense and Rare Candy, so let's see. Should I get a boss? Let me get Bird Keeper instead of the Evolution Incense because I want to get rid of this poison. Hopefully that draws us into something good. Nothing, but I can scoop up my Inteleon and I can use Drizzile one more time and get that Evolution Incense. There we go. So we still get to evolve into our Obstagoon. There it is. We can have them discard 1 card this turn. And that's the thing, man. The Shady Dealings is just way too broken. Alright, and I'm just going to continue to mill my opponent's deck here using Trigger Avalanche. So, yeah, I mean, CRABOMINABLE V is a very unique card because it has 2 different attack that, you know, it does 2 different things. You know, one mills and then the other one just destroys. It really depends on your situation. Even in this matchup where you think that your opponent can easily get ahead of the price exchange because, you know, they're very powerful and they can spread damage easily. But I mean, I can say that I could probably set up my Inteleon quick shooting and just destroy this Rapid Strike Urshifu with a single hit with CRABOMINABLE V. But you can also go with the milling route, you know what I mean? But it's going to be hard for me to do those chip damage because he's going to be able to knock out he's probably going to target my Drizzile, to be honest with you. Yeah, so he's going to target my Drizzile and my Sobble. He gets 2 prizes for that. So I don't have any chance to put any damage counter on him just yet. But at least right now he can't attack. Can use Raihan to accelerate an energy. And let's see, I can use Zigzagoon. I have Zigzagoon. I could put some damage counter and just damage him, but I'm gonna go for the Oleana. That could be useful in my next turn. And he has so many cards on hand, I think the Wicked Ruler ability is definitely gonna wreck that hand of theirs. I can attack with Obstagoon too. I'll just put that energy on Obstagoon. 180 damage is not too bad. And I'll get a Raihan. So I have 2 options here. Have them discard their a lot of their cards from their hand first. And I can probably use Boss's Order in my next few turns to trap one of their Pokemon. I'm looking at Chinchino. And I'm just going to continue to mill their deck. So their Urshifu is going to have a hard time retreating unless they have the Tower of Waters to retreat. Otherwise, all they're doing is 30 damage to our CRABOMINABLE V. Okay, they're gonna use Boss. They're gonna Boss my Obstagoon in the active. But that's okay, I have Escape Rope, so I could easily just switch that out. And that forces them to switch out their Pokemon as well. Okay, that Ordinary Rod doesn't, that kind of messed us up a little bit because that's recovering 4 cards back to their deck. Let's see, we can evolve into Inteleon, get more cards from the deck, but what are we trying to do here is the question. But I'm going to go with the Escape Rope for the meantime. That will force them to switch out their Pokemon and we can just switch this CRABOMINABLE V in the active, and the tool jammer is going to help out, and I'll draw more cards with Birdkeeper. Let's see. I'll continue to energize my Obstagoon just as an option, and I'll just continue to mill their deck. I wonder if we can that's gonna be the thing. I think I'm gonna go for the mill strategy here. We're almost there. 17 cards left. They have 2 Tower of Waters and 2 Bird Keepers so far. They don't have any switch. I don't know if they use any switch on this on their build. So I mean, if they've exhausted all of their switches, then we could just easily trap them in the active. I'm just gonna boss their Chinchino. If they don't have any energies to get this Chinchino out of the active, then we could be sitting pretty in the active with CRABOMINABLE, just continue to milling them. I'll get Level Ball and a Boss's Order. Even if they manage to retreat, we're just gonna get this Chinchino back, and I'll continue to avalanche their deck until they deck out. Can we deck them out with just 4 cards left on our hand or on our deck? Okay, they're gonna Marnie us, so that actually helps us out. I don't know if they realize that, but that's okay. We have a Zigzagoon. Okay. Do they have anything? If they can't switch out their Chinchino, we're just gonna continue to mill. And they're gonna continue to draw more cards, so that actually helps us out. And there's the scoop! I can't believe it! We won by milling our opponent. CRABOMINABLE V has 2 strong attacks. One allows you to effectively mill your opponent's cards, opening the win condition by decking out your opponent. And if that doesn't work, you can simply destroy your opponent's Pokemon by knocking them out with a single hit, thanks to the damage counters you can inflict with the help of Galarian Zigzagoon and Inteleon. Overall, I think CRABOMINABLE V is a very good card. The dual strategy incorporated to its design make it very unique and fun to play. It can both be annoying and at the same time dangerously powerful. With the right combination, CRABOMINABLE V may just find itself in the top tier rankings. And that's it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this build and the gameplay. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.